Hi there, this is the Riles, and I'm doing a video series, or I'm doing a video, sorry, on Age of Empires AI scripting. I've done some scripting in the past, and I've put together a little AI to play the game, and we're going to test it and see, we're going to observe what the AI is doing and maybe make some notes about where we could improve things. So right now, my AI's name is Greeny Weenie, because I'm a greenhorn too. We're gonna play a random land map. We're just gonna start up and we're gonna see how it shakes down. And I'm gonna keep a little notepad here next to me to write down anything I think needs improving. So as you can see right off the bat, the villagers are doing something sensible. They are harvesting the sheep. They're also building a house for additional housing headroom. Building 2 houses right out the start. I can show you that rule. Right here, we build 2 houses immediately. So if we can build a house, we build it, and then we disable the rule. That's 1 house. If we can build a house, we build a house, and we disable the rule. That's house number 2. So the AI's priority by default is food, and as you know, in Age of Empires 2, there's different sources of food. So what I can see right now is there's sheep, there's deer, and there's berries. There are also wild boar. Now by default, the AI does not hunt wild boar, and that's a real shame. So I'll write down, let's see, AI improvements. Hunting boar really boosts your food income and lets you get to the feudal age a lot faster than if you didn't hunt boar. So I've got boar hunting as one of the things I'd like to improve about my AI or add to my AI. It prioritizes building a lumber camp. If I look at the code, let's search for lumber camp. So this script is actually what's determining what you're seeing in the game, right? This computer player basically I'm telling it to check if I have more than 5 villagers, and if I can build a lumber camp, I do. I also set a goal. Pretty much the goal is to get a lumber camp up, and after the lumber camp is up, then I focus on building a mill, and we can see that the AI did that in the correct sequence because I used a goal. Right? If the goal of a lumber camp was not set, or not set to 1, then this mill never would have came up afterwards. So anyways, the computer is doing a pretty good job of exploring. I think I am the Mayans. I am the Mayans. Sometimes I get the Mayans and the Aztecs mixed up because they have similar building architecture. Now here's an interesting thing, right? I built 2 houses right on the outset, but as my population grows, I need more houses. So if we look at how I'm determining when to build a house, it's pretty simple. I'm just checking to see if the headroom, so 20 minus 14 is 6, 6 is not less than 2, therefore this rule does not execute because all facts have to be true before an action takes place. So right now it's not building a house because the housing headroom is 6, and 6 is not less than or equal to 2. Now as the villagers get produced, I can also show you some of that. Villager. We'll make this a little better here. Something like that. There we go. If I can train a villager, I train a villager. It's as simple as that, right? There's almost no times, except in very specialized builds that advanced human players use. You always want to be continuing to produce villagers. And right now, the ratio of food to wood, let's see, where do I specify as that? Right here, I specify 60% food gatherers and 40% wood gatherers. So, right now, that's how the villagers are distributed amongst the different resources. Now notice the computer has the AI engine that is reading this script has default behavior built into it to make your life a little simpler. Because you could imagine if every time you wanted to create your AI to create a villager, it had to click the town center, then it had to click the villager button, and if you had to specify that for like 100 villagers, that would get really tiresome really quickly. Your code for writing your AI would explode into hundreds, if not thousands, of lines. But because the AI engine is smart, all we have to do is say, if we can train a villager, then train it, right? So there's thousands of lines of individual actions boiled down to a one-liner that is, you know, pretty simple in concept. Now I think this map is called Ghost Lake because there's a big lake in the middle, a big frozen lake. And my scout's doing a pretty good job of exploring. I managed to pick up some sheep from far off, so that's good. So it is interesting to note that the default AI has a preference for gathering berries over hunting these deer, right? These deer are an excellent, fast source of food. It's faster to gather deer than to gather berries. It's faster to hunt deer than gather berries. So ideally, hunt deer takes priority over berries. So that's another improvement that I'd like to make to my AI. And it's starting to build some farms. And the logic for that, if I search for farm, is just if we don't have enough food to go to feudal and the idle farm count is 0, if we can build a farm, then we build a farm. So right now there's no farms being built because my idle farm count is reporting 2, right? Here's 2 idle farms. Well, 2 is not 0, so no farm is being built. Now the standard AI has advanced faster than my AI. The main reason for that is my AI doesn't hunt boar, unlike the standard computer player. And I'm not sure if I have the ratio of villagers on food versus villagers on wood right. As you can see, after after the mill was built, a lumber camp was also, or a mining camp was also built. And this is to gear up for some feudal aggression. My AI will build some forward barracks and produce some man-at-arms, so it'll prioritize researching man-at-arms and building the militia line. And so I can show you that too. Militia. So if it can train a militia, it will. But what's the prerequisite for training militia? Well, that is a barracks, right? So here we go. I've got 3 rules here. And basically, if the computer can build a forward barracks, it will, and it will do 3 of them. So now you can see after the berries were eaten, the AI is actually going hunting for deer. Now we're in the feudal age, but we haven't found our enemy, right? Our scout is still going around looking for stuff. And because we haven't found the enemy, build forward is not going to trigger. That action is not going to take place until we discover our enemy. So let's hope this scout finds the enemy at some point. And that's another thing I'd like to improve is scout enemy base sooner. I'm not sure how I'm going to accomplish that, but maybe there's some tweaks I can make to this AI so it explores a little more intelligently, so it finds the enemy base faster. Therefore, I can set up my forward barracks faster. So here, I'm watching this scout, and I'm thinking he's gonna run into the enemy soon. Maybe not. Well, we don't know where this scout is going off to. It's in the middle of a frozen lake, you know. Obviously, you can't build on this ice, so this is not a good place to explore for enemy buildings. Well, we'll just see how things play out, right? The standard AI, we found the enemy scout, or we crossed paths with him at least. One thing I've noticed is the default standard AI, or the HD AI, whatever AI my opponent is running, it's a lot better at scouting out, you know, the opposing player than my AI is, and I'm wondering what kind of tweaks can I make, right? If you're wondering, there's this website called the AI Scripting Encyclopedia, and here's the link. It's airef.github.io. Alright, if you go here and you have a little bit of programming background, this is an excellent resource for you to use while you build your AI. So, for example, the main thing you look at is commands, and you can, you know, there's a lot of commands, right? They're color-coded by difficulty. Some commands are more difficult to get working than others because they're complicated. Now, for instance, I could set the complexity to low, and I would only see the low complexity commands, and these commands often only take one or two parameters, and the parameters they take are pretty simple to specify. So, whatever, that's that. My AI is sort of running. It's got a huge bank saved up because it hasn't found the enemy yet. And it hasn't built any barracks, and it hasn't trained any militia yet. So hopefully this scout finds the enemy soon. This is a waiting game. I do have the playback speed in the game options. Let's see, I did... Oop, it's on normal. Okay, let's speed it up to fast. So, the development cycle when you're AI scripting is you have an idea, right? And you try and look in the reference for commands that will help you bring your idea to reality. Oh man, see, look at this. The Knights came. Look at that. That was a Night Rush from the opposing player. And I'm pretty much dead, right? There's even a pike in here. So, clearly I'm dead. Or this AI is dead. Doesn't resign. It doesn't have any resign conditions, so the opposing player is going to have to eliminate pretty much everything to win. But with just these few knights here, they're gonna, you know, they're going on a killing spree, and knights can also take down buildings pretty well too. So I'm gonna chalk this up as a loss for my AI. So boar hunting for sure needs to come into play. We need to prioritize deer over berries, and we need to scout the enemy base sooner if we're gonna make this feudal rush thing work, right? So that's my conclusion. My AI sucks at the moment, but that's okay. I'll continue to iterate on it and improve it.